See, A, seasonality. May has been more positive than negative.
Yeah.
And B, it's the undercurrent of what is happening in terms of the election cycle. Historically, there is data, and that data is evident that markets always tend to outperform in the month of May. B, markets in the run-up to the election also, they tend to outperform. So 7 out of 10 times markets have outperformed. So there are two factors here. Irrespective of the election cycle, markets, May has been a strong month. B, because of the election cycle and what the opinion on the street is, I guess markets are unlikely to fall. So if April was the comeback trade, I think May really could be the extension of that comeback trade. Volatility, at least India VIX, is almost at 10-11%. I mean, it's nearing towards 10. That means that there is no nervousness in the market. So the setup for the month of May from a market standpoint, I think is easy to understand, which is that volatility is low. Earnings season so far has been decent. No major upgrades, but no major downgrades. And if foreign institutional investors, which really has been the bugbear for the market, if they turned neutral, or if there is a bout of short covering like we saw yesterday, then we could be in for some smashing days ahead in the month of May. So the way to approach the month of May is that you really have to relook at lenders now across the board. IT, the rotation trade I think is evident. Small and mid cap stocks, we told you so that the FOMO crowd is there, and I think that trade will continue. So as of now, until and unless something goes wrong globally or something happens on the geopolitical front, you would say that in the near term there is fair amount of visibility that markets should do well in the month of May. We'll take a fresh guard, we'll talk about it if something changes globally, but the setting on the table is such that the price action is going to be more constructive. It absolutely amazes me the power of this bull market. From March to April, look at the comeback. I mean, no one in the wildest dream would have thought that we would see a 10% surge in the small cap index. Nobody thought. I mean, when the sell-off happened in the month of March, it was like, okay, goodbye to the bull market.
Yeah.
And look at the comeback. And that is the bull market we are in. We must realize that there is no point in being bearish for the sake of being bearish. You will get bad days, but if you participate on those bad days, when good days come, you would be recorded.
Yeah.
So don't...
And this at a time, Nikuj, when there's such a strong tug of war, if you will, between banks and IT, and the kind of laggards that IT as a sector with equally large contribution and, weightage on the indexes and the markets across the spectrum, large caps and mid caps, is completely lagging.
So, Aisha, I think from a market standpoint, IT is crucial, IT is important, but it is not relevant right now.
Yeah.
Banks is where the earning momentum is there, and just look at the banks. I mean, you take some casualties aside like Kotak Mahindra Bank, which is a case specific issue, HDFC Bank where they're moderating growth, but you just take these two names aside. I mean, the two sumos outside, the rest of the banks have delivered, whether it is IndusInd Bank or whether it is ICICI Bank or whether it is, smaller NBFCs or Axis Bank. So markets are telling you that, look, lenders are doing okay. If lenders are growing without NPAs, that means economy is doing well. Liquidity is coming back, inflation fear is behind us, so time to go back to lenders right now. And I think that is a trade which could be a trade for next couple of days. We were hunting for leadership based on yesterday's price action. Will the leadership come back in lenders? Because that's a large sector.
Yeah.
That's 35% of the weightage. You take out Kotak, you take out HDFC Bank, it is still a very handsome representation. And I also feel that for HDFC Bank and Kotak also, the collateral damage has been huge. I mean, how much more can they fall? It is not that they are not growing. Markets will readjust the growth numbers.
So perhaps it's now behind us when it comes to those large banks?
They will not pick up in a hurry.
Okay.
But they may not fall like the way they fall. And see, the underperformance in HDFC Bank is getting checked. The price action Kotak Mahindra Bank, it just could linger there. They are not the heroes right now, let me put it this way. They are the backbenchers. But if you're the backbencher, that does not mean that, you will fail the test or you will be kicked out of the class. You're still part of the class. You're still part of this 2021 bull market class.